Hi everyone, and welcome to Docue Digest, where we break down a particular legal topic into bite-sized pieces. On the menu today are data processing agreements. We'll talk about what they are, how they can benefit your business, and the types of things that they include. I'm Heather Stark, Senior Legal Counsel at Docue UK, and joining me today is my colleague Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley, Legal Counsel at Docue UK. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What exactly is a data processing agreement?
So in basic terms, a data processing agreement, which is also sometimes called a DPA, is a legal contract between a data controller and a processor. Ashley, what are controllers and processors?
Well, a controller is the party who determines the purposes and means of the processing of personal data. And the processor, on the other hand, is the party who's using that personal data in accordance with the controller's instructions. So here's an example. A creative design agency that has employees may use a payroll provider to manage its payroll. The agency will decide everything about the payments being made, but will use the payroll provider in order for the payments to actually be made. In this case, the agency would be the controller of the employee's payroll data, and the payroll company would be a processor.
That makes sense. So where there's a controller to processor relationship, a data processing agreement is required by data protection laws. Article 28 of the UK GDPR requires that contractual terms are put in place for all controller to processor relationships. Failure to have a contract in place that contains the mandatory terms set out in the UK GDPR will be a breach of data protection laws. And breaching data protection laws can have dire consequences for your business, whether that's hefty fines, claims from data subjects, or damage to your business's reputation.
That's right. And if you're a processor of personal data on behalf of your customers as controllers, so for example, if you're a software provider, let's say, then having a high quality data processing agreement in place can help to build trust with your customers and strengthen customer relationships. It demonstrates to your customers that you understand how important protecting their personal data is and that your business has the appropriate safeguards in place to act as their processor. This can be key to giving a processor business a competitive advantage.
Likewise, if you're a controller, then a data processing agreement will include obligations for the processor to implement and maintain various security measures. This will ensure that your personal data is protected from unauthorized access, protect its integrity and quality, and ultimately reduce the risk of data breaches. This can give peace of mind by ensuring that controllers know their personal data will be protected.
So that's why data processing agreements can be important and benefit businesses. But what types of clauses do they typically include?
Well, the UK GDPR explicitly specifies certain mandatory clauses that must be included in a data processing agreement. This includes the details of the processing being carried out, security measures that must be put in place, and obligations to assist the controller with their own obligations under data protection laws. A process should also be included that sets out how and when the processor can appoint sub-processors, as well as the process that must be followed in the event the processor wants to transfer personal data outside of the UK and EEA.
Okay. And what about if the relationship is controller to controller instead of controller to processor?
Well, in that case, you would need to use a different type of contract known as a data sharing agreement. The data sharing agreement will cover what personal data will be shared, how it will be used and for what purpose, who will have access to it, and how it will be protected. How can Docu help with these data protection templates?
So Docu's dynamic data processing agreement and data sharing agreement templates allow users to create a top quality document in minutes. Docu's service includes model clauses designed by privacy lawyers to help businesses draft the agreement themselves and tailor it to their specific needs. You end up with an agreement fully customized to suit your company, whilst also complying with the law.
That sounds great. Thanks for listening, everyone.